You ever stop and think about how sleep actually works? I mean, not just the part where you crawl into bed and close your eyes, but what really happens inside your body that makes sleep even possible. Most of us just accept that we either sleep or we don't, like it's some switch that either flips on or stays off, depending on how lucky we are that night. But the truth is, sleep is way more complex than that. It's this incredible, finely tuned process. A dance between your brain, your body, your hormones, your nervous system, and even the environment around you. And when everything's in sync, sleep just happens, naturally, effortlessly. But when even one part of that process is out of rhythm, that's when things start to go sideways. And that's exactly why I want to unpack this with you today. Because understanding how your body is wired to sleep gives you the power to work with it, instead of constantly fighting against it. And believe me, once you get the science, even just the basics, things start to make a lot more sense. Like, why your brain won't turn off at 2 a.m., or why some nights you fall asleep instantly and others you lie there staring at the ceiling. So let's take it from the top. At the center of everything is something called your circadian rhythm. Think of it like your internal 24-hour clock, one that's been programmed into your biology for thousands of years. This rhythm controls not just when you sleep and wake, but when you feel hungry, when your body temperature rises and falls, when your hormones surge, and even when you feel most alert or most sluggish. Your circadian rhythm is deeply connected to light, especially sunlight. When your eyes take in light in the morning, that signal travels to a tiny part of your brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, or SCN for short. This little cluster of cells acts like the conductor of your biological orchestra. It tells your body, okay, it's daytime now, time to wake up, be alert, get things done. And about 12 to 14 hours later, based on that same signal, it begins preparing your body for sleep. It does this by triggering the release of melatonin, your body's natural sleep hormone. Melatonin helps lower your body temperature, relax your muscles, and quiet your brain so you can drift into sleep. But here's the catch. Your body needs darkness to produce melatonin properly. If you're flooding your eyes with blue light from your phone, your TV, or your laptop late at night, that natural melatonin release gets delayed or suppressed completely. Your brain gets confused. It still thinks it's daytime. So instead of winding down, it stays alert, and sleep becomes way harder than it needs to be. That's why one of the most powerful things you can do to support your body's natural sleep mechanism is simply respecting that rhythm. Getting sunlight early in the morning and minimizing bright lights at night. It sounds almost too simple, but it works. Now let's talk about sleep pressure. This is the second big force that controls your sleep, and it works hand in hand with your circadian rhythm. Sleep pressure is regulated by a chemical in your brain called adenosine. The longer you're awake, the more adenosine builds up. It's like a gentle weight pressing down on your brain, making you feel drowsier as the day goes on. And when the adenosine reaches a certain level, you feel the urge to sleep. This is your body's way of saying, hey, we've been up long enough, it's time to rest and reset. But there's a twist. Caffeine blocks adenosine. That's why your afternoon coffee gives you a second wind. It's not because you suddenly have more energy. It's because the caffeine is sitting in the adenosine receptors in your brain, blocking the sleepiness signal. It's like putting duct tape over the low battery warning on your phone. The problem is still there. you're just ignoring it. And when the caffeine wears off, you crash hard. So if you're struggling with sleep, one of the first things to look at is your caffeine timing. Because if you're still sipping lattes at 3 p.m., your body might be flooded with adenosine, but your brain can't feel it. And that disconnect makes it really hard to fall asleep naturally. So now we've got two major systems working together: circadian rhythm and sleep pressure. One tells you when to sleep based on light and darkness. The other builds up over the day based on how long you've been awake. When they're both aligned, sleep is smooth, deep, and natural. But if they're out of sync, like if you nap too late in the day, or you blast yourself with light at midnight, or you sleep in too long, everything gets thrown off. And it can take days, even weeks, for your body to recalibrate. That's why consistency is so underrated. Going to bed and waking up around the same time every day, even on weekends, helps reinforce both systems. It trains your brain and your body to know what to expect. And when your body knows what to expect, it can relax. It doesn't have to guess or fight or scramble. It just follows the rhythm. Another piece of the puzzle is your body temperature. Most people don't realize this, but your core temperature drops when you're falling asleep. That's why cool rooms, breathable sheets, and warm baths before bed can be so effective. The warm bath actually pulls heat to the surface of your skin, so when you get out, your core cools down, signaling to your body that it's time for sleep. That's also why exercising too close to bedtime can make it harder to fall asleep. Your body is still hot, your heart is still racing, and your brain is still lit up. But if you time your workouts earlier in the day, they can actually help you sleep better at night. Everything in your daily life affects your body's ability to enter natural sleep. And that's both the bad news and the good news. The bad news is there's no magic off switch. You can't override your biology with a pill. But the good news? You don't need to. Your body already knows how to sleep. It just needs the right signals, the right rhythm, the right environment. And the more you support those things, the more natural your sleep becomes. It doesn't have to be complicated, it just has to be consistent. So tonight, as you start to wind down, I want you to think about the signals you're sending your body. Are you helping it move toward rest, or are you accidentally telling it to stay awake? Are you dimming the lights, turning down the noise, letting your mind settle? Or are you pushing through, chasing productivity, numbing with screens, ignoring the cues? Because your body is always speaking. It's always trying to find balance. And when you start to listen, really listen, you'll be amazed at how naturally sleep returns. Let's keep going. Now that we've explored how the circadian rhythm and sleep pressure work together to guide your body toward natural sleep, I want to talk about another huge piece of this puzzle that most people overlook: the nervous system. Because whether you're able to fall asleep or not isn't just about hormones or timing or what you ate for dinner. It's also about how safe your body feels. And I don't mean safe in the sense of physical danger, like running from a bear. I mean internal safety, nervous system safety, emotional safety. The kind of safety where your body knows it can let its guard down, where it can fully relax, unwind, and let go. Because sleep, real, deep, natural sleep, requires surrender. And surrender can only happen when your body is not in fight or flight mode. That's where your autonomic nervous system comes in. This system is split into two main branches: the sympathetic nervous system, which handles stress, alertness and survival responses, and the parasympathetic nervous system, which handles rest, digestion, and healing. You can think of the sympathetic side as your body's gas pedal, and the parasympathetic as the brakes. During the day, especially when you're working or moving or solving problems, your sympathetic system is more active, and that's fine. It's healthy, it keeps you engaged. But the problem is, most of us never really switch out of that mode. We stay wired, we stay busy, we stay stressed. Even when we're trying to rest, we're still carrying all the stimulation from the day. And when that happens, the parasympathetic system, the brakes, never fully kick in. Your body might be lying in bed, but your brain is still running. Your muscles are still holding tension. Your heart rate's a little too high. Your breath is shallow, and you wonder why you can't fall asleep. It's because your body hasn't received the message that it's safe to shut down. But when your parasympathetic system is activated, that's when the magic happens. Your heart rate slows down. Your breathing deepens, your muscles release, your brain waves begin to shift. Your body starts to signal, okay, we're safe now, we can rest. And this state isn't something you can force, but it is something you can support. There are so many beautiful, simple ways to help your nervous system transition into rest mode, like gentle breath work. Even just taking 5 slow, deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, can help shift your body out of stress and into calm. Or mindfulness. Not the intimidating kind that requires hours of meditation, but just noticing. Sitting for a moment with your hand on your chest and saying, I'm okay, I'm home, I'm safe. That might sound small, but it tells your body, we're good. It's okay to relax now. Or using your senses, dimming the lights, playing calming music, using essential oils or a soft blanket. All of those cues help your nervous system feel grounded, supported, and ready to wind down. And it's not about being perfect or doing it all. It's about creating an atmosphere where your body can finally exhale. Another huge tool for calming your nervous system is routines. Our brains love predictability. They find safety in it. So when you create a consistent wind-down routine every night, even if it's just a few minutes, your body starts to associate those steps with sleep. Like, okay, the lights are dim, the phone is off, we're brushing our teeth, we're doing that stretch, we're climbing into bed, it must be time to sleep. And over time, those small steps become signals, not chores. They become anchors, reminders that it's time to let go. And that's what makes all the difference. Because natural sleep isn't something you do. It's something you allow. It's something your body does when it feels safe enough to let go. But in a world that's constantly pushing, pulling, stimulating, and overwhelming, creating that sense of safety isn't automatic anymore. You have to build it gently, intentionally, compassionately. And again, none of this has to be perfect. It's not about creating some strict ritual where you feel bad if you miss a step. It's about creating a rhythm that your body can count on. A gentle pathway back to yourself. I've worked with people who hadn't slept well in years. People who tried every supplement, every meditation app, every fancy sleep tracker, and you know what changed everything for them? Learning how to make their nervous system feel safe. Sometimes it started with breath. Sometimes it was turning off the news before bed. Sometimes it was writing down the thoughts that wouldn't stop spinning. But once their bodies stopped feeling like they had to stay on high alert, sleep just came. Not every night, not instantly, but more and more, until it became the norm. And that's what I want for you too. Because once you get even a taste of that kind of rest, the kind where you wake up and actually feel restored, not groggy or disconnected or depleted, you'll never want to go back. Your body is not against you. If anything, it's trying so hard to protect you. But that protection mode, the tension, the alertness, doesn't mix well with rest. So if you've been stuck in that loop, it's not your fault. You're not doing anything wrong. You've just been trying to sleep while your nervous system is still standing guard. And the key isn't to force it. The key is to reassure it. Gently, repeatedly. And that starts by recognizing how connected your mind and body really are. Your thoughts, your emotions, your breath, your habits, they all send messages. And when those messages say, you're safe, you're supported, you can let go, your body listens. It softens. And sleep becomes something that rises naturally, not something you have to chase. So tonight, maybe it's just 3 deep breaths, or putting your hand over your heart for 30 seconds and just noticing your breath, or turning the lights down 10 minutes earlier than usual. Whatever feels manageable, whatever feels kind, that's the way back. That's how your nervous system starts to trust you again. And that trust is what opens the door to the sleep you've been craving. All right, so now that we've talked about the circadian rhythm, the buildup of sleep pressure through adenosine, and the crucial role your nervous system plays in the whole process, there's another big piece of the puzzle we need to look at, and that's your environment. I know it might not seem like your bedroom or your living space could really have that much impact on your sleep, but I promise you, it does. Your body is constantly responding to cues from your environment, even when you're not fully aware of it. And the space you sleep in can either support your natural sleep mechanism or fight against it. It's kind of like gardening. You can have the best seeds, the richest soil, but if the conditions aren't right, if there's too much noise, too much light, too much stimulation, those seeds aren't going to grow. In the same way, your body might be ready to rest, but if your bedroom is sending mixed messages, like it's time to scroll, to worry, to snack, to multitask, your sleep is going to suffer. So let's talk about how to shape your space in a way that makes it easier for your body to do what it already knows how to do. First, let's talk about light. We've touched on how important it is to get sunlight in the morning, but it's just as important to manage light at night. Your body is incredibly sensitive to light cues, especially the blue light that comes from phones, TVs, tablets, and even some LED bulbs. That blue light suppresses melatonin production, and without melatonin, your body doesn't know it's time to sleep. It's like trying to land a plane in the dark without runway lights. Your brain is just circling. So the first thing I always recommend is to start dimming your lights in the evening. I mean, like 2 hours before bed if possible. Turn off overhead lights. Use lamps with warmer bulbs. Even better if you can get your hands on some amber or red-toned lights. Those don't interfere with melatonin production the way white and blue lights do. And I know this might sound extreme in our always-on world, but limiting screen time before bed can be a total game changer. Even if you just set a timer and give yourself a 30-minute screen-free buffer before sleep, it gives your brain a chance to recalibrate, to get quiet, to shift from stimulation mode into rest mode. And if you do have to use screens, use a blue light filter. It's not perfect, but it's better than nothing. Now let's talk about sound. Your brain keeps processing sound even when you're asleep. That's why a sudden noise can jolt you awake or keep you in lighter stages of sleep without you even realizing it. Creating a sound environment that supports rest is huge. For some people, total silence is best. For others, a little background sound actually helps, like a fan, white noise machine, or calming nature sounds. What's important is that the sound is consistent and gentle. Avoid TV or podcasts playing in the background while you fall asleep. Even if it feels comforting, your brain is still trying to process the language, and that can interfere with deeper stages of sleep. The goal is to create an environment where your brain doesn't feel like it has to stay alert. Let's move to temperature. Your core body temperature naturally drops as you're preparing to fall asleep. So keeping your room cool, ideally somewhere between 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit, can help signal your body that it's time to rest. If your bedroom is too hot, your body struggles to make that temperature shift, and that can lead to restlessness, sweating, and shallow sleep. On the flip side, if it's too cold and you're shivering, that's not ideal either. So experiment until you find that sweet spot. Breathable sheets, moisture-wicking sleepwear, and maybe even cracking a window if the air is fresh. All of that matters. Now let's not skip over your bed itself. This one's big. If your mattress is uncomfortable, your pillow doesn't support your neck, or your sheets make you overheat, your sleep is going to suffer. I know high-quality sleep products can be pricey, but if there's one place worth investing in your health, it's your bed. You spend a third of your life there. It should feel like a sanctuary, like a place your body wants to sink into. Pay attention to your preferences. Do you sleep better on a firmer surface or something plush? Do you need more neck support? Are you waking up with back pain? Your body is giving you clues. It's up to you to listen. And while we're at it, let's talk about clutter. I'm not saying your bedroom has to be some minimalist Pinterest dream, but the truth is, your brain picks up on visual clutter even when you think you've tuned it out. Piles of laundry, bills on the nightstand, that to-do list scribbled on a post-it. All of that sends signals that your space is still active, that it's not time to rest yet. So creating a space that feels peaceful, whatever that means for you, can help your nervous system start to settle. Maybe it's as simple as making your bed every morning. Maybe it's clearing off your nightstand. Maybe it's keeping the floor clean. Small changes, but they matter. They send a message to your body. This is a place for calm, for rest, for letting go. And finally, I want to touch on something deeper. The energy of your space. I know that might sound a little woo-woo to some people, but hear me out. Your body picks up on energy. If your bedroom has become a place where you stress, where you scroll endlessly, where you toss and turn and get frustrated night after night, that energy builds. And pretty soon, your body starts to associate your bed with anything but sleep. That's why sleep experts often say your bed should be for sleep and intimacy, not work, not watching TV, not checking emails. Because your brain forms associations. And when you start reclaiming your bed as a place of rest, when you break those old habits and bring in new ones, the energy shifts. Your body starts to feel different the moment you walk in the room, and that matters. So maybe tonight, take a few moments and look around your space. Ask yourself, is this room helping me sleep, or is it making it harder? And if the answer is the latter, that's okay. You're not doing anything wrong, but now you know. And that awareness is powerful, because you can change it. One small shift at a time. Dim the lights, clear a corner, open a window, light a candle, play soft music, breathe. Every little thing you do to shape your space into a sleep-friendly sanctuary is one more signal to your body that it's time to rest. And when your body hears that signal loud and clear, sleep comes, naturally, effortlessly, as it was always meant to. So here we are, at the end of this episode, and I want to take a moment to just reflect on how incredible your body really is. I mean, seriously, when you think about everything we've covered, from the circadian rhythm to adenosine to your nervous system to the environment around you, it's kind of mind-blowing how all of these systems are working together, constantly, silently, just trying to take care of you, trying to keep you balanced, trying to protect you, trying to bring you back into rest night after night. And all of it is happening without you having to consciously think about it. Your body isn't asking for a performance. It's not asking for perfection. It's simply asking for support, for a little space, for a little consistency, for a little kindness. That's the beauty of natural sleep. It doesn't come from force. It comes from alignment, from trusting that your biology is not broken, from remembering that rest is not something you have to earn. It's something you're wired for. And I get it. If you've been struggling with sleep, especially for a long time, it can be hard to believe that something so simple could be enough. You've probably heard 1,000 tips and read 1,000,000 articles, and maybe even started to believe that you're just one of those people who doesn't sleep well. But I want you to hear this. Your body hasn't forgotten how to sleep. That knowledge, that rhythm, that ability, it's still in you. It might be buried under stress or tangled in old habits or out of sync from years of hustle, but it's there, waiting. And when you begin to work with your body instead of against it, when you start honoring its rhythms, feeding it the right signals, calming its stress, creating a space that feels safe, that old wisdom starts to rise again. Your body starts to trust the process. Your sleep becomes easier, deeper, more natural, and honestly, more sacred. Because sleep isn't just about recharging, it's a reunion, a reconnection with yourself. A surrender to something bigger than your conscious mind, a chance for your brain to sort through emotions, a time for your muscles to rebuild, a moment for your immune system to repair. And it all happens while you lie there, still, safe, surrounded by darkness and silence. That's the kind of restoration no pill can replicate. That's the kind of restoration your body was designed for. And the best part is, it's yours. Always has been. You don't need to go searching for it in a bottle or an app or a biohack. You just need to clear the way, to listen, to trust. So tonight, maybe you do something different. Maybe instead of scrolling until your eyes are sore, you turn the screen off and sit in silence for a moment. Maybe you light a candle or take a warm shower. Or just put your hand on your heart and say, I'm here, I'm tired, and I'm allowed to rest. Maybe you forgive yourself for all the nights you stayed up too late, for all the mornings you woke up exhausted, for all the times you felt like your body let you down, when really it was just trying to keep up. Maybe tonight is the beginning of a new story. One where sleep isn't something you fight for, but something you return to. A place you get to go, a rhythm you get to follow, a peace you get to feel again and again and again. I don't want you to wait for the perfect time. I don't want you to overthink it. I just want you to start, to begin showing your body through small, gentle actions that it's safe, that rest is possible, that sleep doesn't have to be a struggle anymore. I'll say it again. Your body remembers, and you will too. Maybe not all at once, maybe not perfectly, but slowly, steadily, naturally. And I'll be right here, walking with you episode by episode, night by night, reminder by reminder, until sleep starts to feel like home again. Because it will. It always comes back to you. You just have to invite it. Thank you for spending this time with me. Thank you for showing up for yourself. Thank you for trusting this process, even just a little bit. If you found value in this episode, if it gave you a sense of calm or clarity or hope, I'd love for you to subscribe to the Daily Health Shift. We've got so much more to explore in this journey toward natural, nourishing sleep. And if you know someone else who's struggling to rest, maybe send this their way. Sometimes the right words at the right moment can change everything. You're not alone in this. You're not broken. And your body hasn't forgotten. Natural sleep is your design. Let's return to it together. I'll see you in the next episode.